Hey Moxie Compass Explorers, welcome back to another insightful journey on our channel. Today we're diving into a topic that demands a second thought for anyone considering a move down under. So, if you've ever dreamt of relocating to the land down under, you might want to tune in. This is Moxie Compass, and I'm your guide through the twists and turns of life's compass. Let's get started. Australia, the world's sixth largest country, is renowned for its diverse landscapes, unique wildlife, and vibrant cities. From iconic landmarks like the Sydney Opera House to the stunning Great Barrier Reef, the country offers a mix of natural beauty and modern urban life. With a multicultural population and a laid back lifestyle, Australia is a captivating destination. Now, if you're contemplating a move to Australia and want to approach the decision with caution, here are some points to help you think twice before making the decision. Number 10. Missing home vibe. Unless you're originally from New Zealand or a cozy South Pacific island, relocating to Australia comes with the downside of being far away from your roots. One major bummer about living in Australia is the noticeable gap from family. Not only does it burn a hole in your pocket to visit them, but rushing back in case of an emergency becomes quite the challenge. Number 9. Living down under comes at a cost. Australia is no budget-friendly haven. In the 2021 Worldwide Cost of Living Index by the Economist Intelligence Unit, Melbourne and Sydney proudly claim spots among the world's most expensive cities. They outspaced even London, but were a bit more wallet-friendly than New York and Los Angeles, the only US cities making the cut. Now, when you're checking out prices in Australia, the good news is that taxes are usually included, and you don't have to stress about mandatory tipping. It's a relief at the cashier most of the time. Watch out though. Sometimes they sneak in a small card fee. And here's a shocker. When you first land in Australia, brace yourself for the rent scene. The weekly rent might feel like a monthly rent back home. Unfortunately, finding a place to live is becoming trickier in big Aussie cities, and the rising costs of living and bills don't make it easier. Number 8. Finding that first qualified job can be a challenge. Securing your first job in Australia isn't always a walk in the park, and the experience varies widely across different industries. This challenge becomes even more pronounced when you're aiming for positions that require specific qualifications. Upon your arrival in Australia, your visa status often becomes a stumbling block in the pursuit of your dream job. Priority tends to be given to permanent residents and citizens without working restrictions, especially those with existing experience and referees in the country. Many employers lean towards candidates with Australian work experience, making it a tough feat for newcomers. Unless you're in an industry facing a shortage of skilled individuals, you'll need to outshine other candidates significantly to snag that initial job when you've just landed from overseas. Adding to the struggle for newcomers is the reliance on networking, which can play a pivotal role. Unfortunately, recruitment processes don't always follow a fair and transparent assessment checklist, making the journey to that first job even more challenging. Number 7. Your rights remain limited until you attain permanent residency. Securing a permanent visa to stay in Australia can be a prolonged and stressful journey for many individuals. The immigration process is tightly regulated, and without meeting the requirements or possessing a high demand skill set, you might face a lengthy wait before achieving a stable visa situation. Even after residing in Australia for an extended period and contributing through tax payments like other residents, you may experience a sense of disparity when not afforded equal treatment compared to those with permanent resident status. This discrepancy became particularly apparent during the pandemic-related border closures, where individuals lacking a permanent resident visa were barred from returning home to Australia and couldn't access the support extended to residents who faced job losses. Moreover, for non-permanent residents or citizens, The cost of buying property in Australia is significantly higher. Despite the challenges of attaining permanent residency, the subsequent journey towards citizenship is surprisingly straightforward. If you aspire to make Australia your permanent home and possess a high demand skill set, the path to citizenship can be relatively uncomplicated, offering a promising route for those looking to settle in the country permanently. Number 6. Navigating taxes, an initial impact on your salary. Upon your arrival in Australia, one of the first tasks on your to-do list is obtaining a tax file number, TFN, which you'll need to provide to your employer. The salary deposited into your bank account is the net amount after deducting taxes. And if you're considered a foreign resident for tax purposes, common for newcomers, the tax bite can be quite substantial. In Australia, the financial year runs from the 1st of July to the 30th of June. As the financial year kicks off, it's tax return time. The silver lining is that you may receive a refund if you've overpaid taxes throughout the year. If you arrived in Australia late in the financial year, chances are you were taxed more than necessary, making tax return season a potentially positive note for your finances. Number 5. Navigating international travel, a complication in down under living. Australia, with its vast and diverse attractions, might keep you engaged initially, but when the time comes to venture beyond its borders or return home, the experience can become quite intricate. While Australia boasts a few international airports facilitating exploration of the South Pacific Islands or Southeast Asia and offering direct flights to the west coast of the US and Canada, its geographical remoteness makes international travel a complex endeavor. The sheer distance from almost anywhere contributes to the expense, and the extensive travel time often means sacrificing a day or two just to reach your desired destination. Number 4. Weather extremes, a consideration in Australian living. While Australia's climate is often praised as a positive aspect of living down under, I perceive it as more diverse than universally favorable. Melbourne, for instance, may not offer a climate superior to many European locations in my opinion. If you're averse to heat, cities like Brisbane or Darwin might not be your ideal choices. Sydney, with one of the mildest climates in the country, is comparable to some southern European cities. So, why do I label climate as a potential downside? The evolving climate is ushering in more frequent and intense extreme weather events. Unprecedented bushfires and floods have swept across the country in recent years. Even if you're not directly impacted by these natural disasters, the collective experience is invariably shocking and stressful for the entire community and local economy. Number 3. Wildlife wonders, a mix of cute and not so cute. While the adorable Australian animals often steal the spotlight, the same can be said for the not so cute creatures we commonly associate with Australia. Sure, there are crocodiles casually cruising some tropical rivers, and the occasional giant spiders, alongside their less friendly smaller counterparts, might find their way into your home. Venomous snakes might slither onto hiking trails, and big sharks casually patrol the coastal waters. Add deadly jellyfish, particularly fond of the warm waters of North Queensland, to the mix. The pictured creatures, freshwater crocodile, carpet python, and Grainer shark, might not pose a threat, but they can certainly startle many newcomers. And truth be told, these aren't the critters that concern me most when I'm out on the Australian outdoors. It's the tiny midges and horseflies turning camping trips into nightmares. The giant jumping and biting bull ants that have brought tears on hiking tracks. And the caution exercised around the Gimpy Gimpy plant in the rainforest, famed for delivering excruciating pain. Yet my top fear? Magpies. These birds, fiercely protective of their offspring, tend to swoop down on unsuspecting runners and cyclists. Unfortunately, you don't always see them coming, and their surprise attacks can really pack a punch. Number 2. Sun hazards. Skin cancer concerns down under. Australia holds the unfortunate title of having the highest overall rate of melanoma of the skin, emphasizing the serious risks of skin cancer. The sun's intensity is such that even in winter or on cloudy days, one can easily get sunburnt. Visitors to Australia often learn sometimes through the painful route, the imperative need to carry and diligently apply sunscreen. Personally, I've opted for long sleeves and pants as a preventive measure to shield my screen from the harsh impact of the sun's rays. The commitment to sun protection is a crucial aspect of daily life in Australia. Number 1. Pricey commutes. Public transport in Australia. If you're accustomed to the efficiency and affordability of train and bus travel in Europe, be prepared for a different experience in Australia. Even a short bus trip within the city can dent your budget and is often not the most reliable, especially during weekends and evenings. When it comes to intercity travel, opting for a car or plane is usually a more practical choice than relying on trains or buses. Interstate train journeys in Australia are not merely a means of transportation. They lean towards the expensive and luxurious side. Despite lacking any special comforts, bus travel also tends to be pricier than one might anticipate. The Australian public transport landscape might not align with the cost-effective and convenient options found in other parts of the world. And that concludes our exploration into the considerations before making a leap to Australia. If you've enjoyed this episode or found it helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more Moxie Compass adventures, and ring that notification bell to stay updated on all our future explorations. Until next time, wander wisely, Moxie Compass community.